This week in jokes, President Trump was arrested in Atlanta on Thursday, where police took his mugshot and his fingerprints. Unfortunately, he only gave them the two middle ones. The president called the arrest a travesty of justice and said he's devastated for our country, but also excited to turn the mugshot into an NFT. The indictment contains 41 counts, which the prosecutor says in and of themselves are not crimes, but together they add up to a criminal conspiracy, which could also describe any K-pop band. But critics say the alleged offenses are harmless. In one count, the president is accused of unlawfully telling people to watch Newsmax, which isn't a crime, even though it should be. The president was released on a $200,000 bail, and he will now be tried by a jury of his peers, meaning other people who didn't get into Wharton. India has successfully landed on the moon, but they say it's still not far enough from Pakistan. This is the Chandrayaan 3, blasting off last month with a massive explosion. That's what happens when you mix rocket fuel with tikka masala. But this week, it touched down on the moon's southern pole, prompting Prime Minister Narendra Modi to celebrate with a pole dance. The Prime Minister says this success belongs to all of humanity and marks the dawn of a new India. Plus, it might finally shut his mom up about how he should have been a doctor. Next up, the Prime Minister will launch a mission in September to study the sun, something the American president is way ahead of him on. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister of Canada is hoping to probe Uranus. The Republican Party held a debate this week featuring 8 people, and that was just Chris Christie. The former New Jersey governor was booed by the crowd for insulting President Trump and Vivek Ramaswamy.
Sit here and answer right. You sit here and answer.
Go ahead, Governor Christie.
Hold on, Governor Christie.
Hold on.
If you think that's bad, he performed even worse in the bikini portion of the show. Fox News is declaring Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis the biggest winners of the night, while the biggest losers were anyone who watched. Meanwhile, the party frontrunner was with Tucker Carlson on X. The interview racked up more than 240 million views, which is also what you get if you ask Ron DeSantis his position on Ukraine. President Trump spoke candidly about his battle with the deep state and accused Vice President Kamala Harris of speaking in rhyme.
She speaks in rhyme. It's weird. It's weird. But she has bad moments. And
in rhyme? What do you...
Well, the way she talks, the bus will go here and then the bus will go there because that's what buses do. And it's weird. The whole thing is weird.
The Vice President replied that she would not speak in rhyme because she's too high all the time. Now to a giant brawl caught on camera between a pack of wild animals. And for once, it wasn't at a Waffle House. The video went viral this week from a South Africa national park where dozens of baboons live in the streets. And it still smells better than downtown San Francisco. The video shows the baboons minding their own monkey business when they were snuck up on by a hungry leopard. Fortunately, the leopard was spotted. That's when the pack of baboons went ape, biting and beating the predator until it ran away, which is also what to do when you meet Jackson Mahomes. President Biden got laid in Maui, while Maui got screwed by President Biden. The president was booed in the streets after offering victims of the Maui wildfires just $700 per household to help with recovery. But they also got a $1 billion donation to Ukraine in their names. The president was also criticized for telling jokes at the victims' memorial about how he almost lost his favorite car in a fire.
Lightning struck at home on a little lake that's outside of our home, not a lake, a big pond, and hit a wire and came up underneath our home into the heating ducts, the air conditioning duct. To make a long story short, I almost lost my wife, my 67 Corvette, and my cat. But all kidding aside.
As usual, the only one laughing was Kamala Harris. Comedian Kevin Hart is temporarily in a wheelchair after injuring himself in a race. On the bright side, he's actually taller sitting down. Also good news, he can now team up with Dwayne Johnson for a buddy comedy called Rock and Roll. The Department of Justice is suing Elon Musk's SpaceX for allegedly not hiring enough refugees and asylum seekers, even though the company is filled with workers who escaped California. A rabid stalker chased Drew Barrymore off the stage of a Manhattan symposium. The audience is now seeking the attacker's address to send thank you notes. And an actress from The Sopranos is now publicizing her OnlyFans account. She says the account is so revealing that once you see it, you'll never forget about it. Subscribe for more This Week in Jokes.